If you missed those pre-keto corn dogs, you do not want to miss a second of this video. Alright, first thing you're going to need is 1 cup crushed pork rinds. Now, I didn't fully crush these because I'm going to go ahead and use my NutriBullet to finish the job. I'm going to go ahead and get the lid on and get this locked in place. Go ahead and give it a couple bursts so you've got a nice fine consistency. Next, you're going to add 1/2 cup mozzarella cheese. We'll go ahead and get that closed up, put that on the mixer, and give it a couple bursts. Now we'll go ahead and get it opened up, and we're going to add 2 large eggs. Once you've done that, you're going to go ahead and put the lid back on, lock it back in place, and give it a couple more bursts. Now go ahead and place your mixture in a bowl, and let's get it mixed up. Next, you'll need to sift 1/4 cup lupin flour over your dough. Once you've got that over the dough, you're going to go ahead and mix that up. You want to make sure you mix this very well until it looks like this, like a nice dough ball. Go ahead and roll the dough out in your hand, forming a dough log. Then place it on your parchment paper, press it down. Now cover it up with an additional piece of wax paper. You're going to go ahead and press it down once you've covered it with wax paper to flatten it out before you use your rolling pin on it. Then you're going to take your rolling pin and roll it back and forth. I like to roll it back and forth, and then once I've got a nice pattern, then I'll take and rotate it and roll it out the other angle. Once I've got both angles rolled out as much as I like to finish it. My finishing process is basically to take and drag the rolling pin over the dough in one direction in order to smooth it out to my desired thickness. Once you've reached the desired thickness of your corn dough breading, you're going to go ahead and remove the piece of wax paper. Once you've removed your wax paper, you need to go ahead and get your dough cut. I'm using a dough cutter from Dollar Tree, and these things are great. Heck, for $1.25, you just can't beat that. It's a great deal. Now, if you'll notice too, I'm using the Reynolds Mark paper. This parchment paper is great. It is wonderful, especially for recipes like this, because having the right size dough will make sure you get a good, consistent wrap on the hot dog. Now, I'm going to go ahead and clean this up, and if you notice up front, there's a piece of parchment paper. That was a stencil I made so that I had just the right size dough. Now it's time to take our hot dogs and get them skewered up. Now, I am using kebab sticks for this particular recipe, and as a safety precaution, I like to go ahead and remove the sharp end. Alright, let's go ahead and get these rolled up. I like to take my dough cutter and actually break the dough loose, then roll the dog up in the dough, form it with my hands, and smooth it out. Once you've got the ends pretty round and smooth, you're going to go ahead and take it and roll it out on your paper. And now just repeat the process with the remaining hot dogs so that you have a nice smooth edge once these things get put in the fryer. Alright, now it's time to get these things into grease. We're going to be cooking these at 400 degrees. Alright, now it's time to carefully put these in the hot grease. And I like to take and rotate them so that they're coated with oil on the whole thing. Now, there are several frying methods, from flipping them, rotating them. You can also use a stainless spoon to pour grease over them, or you can gently shake them in the grease. This and rotating them works best for this particular recipe. I usually wouldn't call a corn dog beautiful, but look at this nice, consistent golden brown on these things. And maybe I'm partial, but this is the best corn dog recipe I think you'll find on YouTube. But if you thought this recipe was amazing, you should check out my egg roll recipe. Guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.